Right now, it's beginning of February. I can notice the difference of longer days and shorter nights in my body. It feels like I'm starting to wake up, like I'm actually starting to move forward. How are you feeling these days? If you feel like it, you can tell me in the comments below. Today I am sculpting something new. If you noticed my sketchbook planning video, where I planned the products I want to make for my soul and for my Etsy shop in 2024. The first thing I planned to make this year were flower cottages. I want to explore this idea of sculpting beautiful flowers on top of the cottages, like on their roofs. This idea came to my mind a few months ago. I decided I'm gonna expand on that idea and make some for sale. I have chosen 4 cottages to make into these special edition flower cottages. They are Happy Cottage, Angel Cottage, Cottage of the Soul, and Cottage Iden. I always paint my painting first. I paint landscapes with cottages on them. So all my cottages are at first paintings and then I sculpt them. So for each one of those, I have chosen a special type of flower to go with it. At first, I always try to sculpt the models first, which are kind of like prototypes. And then I keep the models and make all of the cottages that I sell with those models as a reference. There is something about these cottages and about making art in general that brings me a sense of peace. It's like I'm sculpting a safe place from my hands for my mind. It's hard to explain, but it is pleasant. I'm figuring out how much I really love art. I always knew I loved it, but lately it's honestly the thing that brings me comfort and safety and a feeling of purpose, a feeling of being alive. For a long time, I didn't accept myself as an artist because my ego didn't think that that was a great thing. But the things are really different now. At one point, I started to realize that the meaning of life, for me, is the life itself. And if I'm embarrassed of what I love to do, if I act from my ego instead of my heart, I'm just wasting my own life. I'm just hurting myself. So I decided to live my life to the fullest and to do what I really want to do. And yeah, that brought me the realization that I really am an artist at heart. As an artist, I see myself as a painter first because painting is my favorite medium. It's where I started and it's where I feel most comfortable and alive. But I also love sculpting. That is a bit of a newer medium for me, sculpting from polymer clay. And I have also decided to try out pottery this year. This is a personal project, but I just thought I'm gonna mention it today in this video to maybe inspire you to try something that you wanted to try for some time but didn't yet. I wanted to try pottery for a long time before I gathered up the courage and actually did it. Pottery is purely a hobby for me that I'm learning it with no intention of monetizing it, at least not in the near future. Although I sometimes have this thought that little plates and mugs with cottages and flowers on them would be so cute. But for now, pottery is only for me. I think it's really important to have things that are not monetizable and bring you joy in life. It's a special kind of way of nourishing your soul. It's also amazing for my brain when I have new things to learn. A challenge, some may say. Pottery is something so new and weird to do to me. Throwing a piece of clay on the spinning wheel and trying to center it and trying to make a mug, that is wild for me. So I really am enjoying the ride. But also these cottages with flowers on them. I don't actually know how to sculpt flowers yet. I try, I fail, I try again from a different angle, and so forth. This way, patiently, I come up with cottages I love and want to share with the world. Almost nothing ever goes smoothly on a first try. And it's exciting to learn. Lately, I have been thinking about the idea of home. Not just a physical space, but the feeling of home. Warmth, safety, and comfort. Somewhere you can always go back to. And how we find this home is in unexpected places sometimes. I didn't always know I will be doing art as my job. And I certainly didn't know I will be making cottages from polymer clay. It was almost like the idea found me. Just like that, I started to build this idea into a reality. Buying my first paints, sculpting my first cottage, making a YouTube video, getting better at it, making lots of mistakes until I learned the lessons, and brushstroke by brushstroke, piece of clay by piece of clay, I built something. I'm still building it. Not just my art business, but a way of life that feels good. A life that feels like home. There is something meditative about all kinds of art, in my experience. But clay is a really special one. The way it shapes itself under warm fingers. It works slowly, like the slower and more gentle I work, the faster I am at the end. It's fascinating how steady and slow and precise I need to be if I want to make cottages that I'm proud of. Clay is a beautiful reminder for me that rushing is violence towards life. If I rush, I'm not gonna be calm and happy, and cottages that I make will not look as I want them to look. You have to pour love into things if you want them to be exceptional, extraordinary. And just like that, my sculpting session was coming to an end here. I'm pretty happy with Happy Cottage, with the sunflower on the roof, and also Cottage Iden is okay, except the yellow part on the daisy that is a little smaller that I would want. But I need to make another go at Angel Cottage. This was my first time ever sculpting a rose, and I think I need a bit more practice. For the Cottage of the Soul, which is this brown wooden one, I have trouble with dandelions, kinda. I love dandelion, it's one of my favorite wildflowers, and so that's why I am just not giving up on trying to sculpt it. I tried to sculpt it in the past. I made it into magnets on my fridge, but it's not the way I would want it to look. So I will have to work on the dandelion to put on top of this cottage. Thank you for catching up with me and spending this studio session with me. Next time, hopefully, I'm gonna make the final models for those cottages. So I'm gonna be able to list flower cottages in my Etsy shop. I love sharing those moments with you. Also the moments that are in between, that do not have perfect results, just so you see that exceptional things need a lot of love poured into them. And if I enjoy my medium and if I keep trying, I'm gonna eventually come to the result I want. I hope you found a little comfort in this video, and I hope you got inspired to make some art on your own. You can check out my Etsy shop where I sell my paintings, my cottage prints, and my cottage charms. And you can subscribe to this channel so you don't miss the next video I'll be posting here. Take care.
How this story ends, kind and brave, I know you'll find a way. Live your truth.